All right, so I'll hand it over to you.
Alrighty, sounds great. Ready to go?
It's already filming, so we're good to go.
I appreciate it. Okay, fantastic. Yep, in we go.
So I'm guessing you're Mercedes, right, with Daimler?
That's correct. Yeah.
All right, so you can talk about the car probably as we're driving through it. So this is a Generation 2, right?
This is a Gen 2, yeah. So this is a 2011 electric drive Smart. Okay. So this is the car we're actually driving today. Sorry, I got my seatbelt on there. The car that we're driving here today, of course, was the car that they've been using in Europe. Traditionally, I guess, in London, England, they've been using this in the police department and other parts of the world. So the car that's coming to market next year, or the spring of next year, will be similar in shape and size. I mean, there's some design changes to the nose and the tail, and the side moldings are all changed over. So a few changes to the gauges and that stuff. Basically the same car, but with some big changes. The biggest changes that we have, or will have, is that the battery packs that we sit on today, which by the way are located between the front and rear wheels, so it's in the safe zone, it's not in a crumple zone. And so a nice low flat pack lithium-ion type battery, so it sits between the doors. So what it offers is, by the way, is a very low center of gravity, right? So the battery packs that we're sitting on today are Tesla batteries, right? So what we found is it's a 16.5 liter kilowatt battery pack. So what happens next year is we go to a 17.3. And it's vibrating. Is that normal?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
It's just focusing.
Oh, okay, that's what it is. Okay. Sorry. So we go from a 16.5 liter or 16.5 liter kilowatt hour battery to a 17.3 kilowatt hour battery, and it goes from we're moving away from Tesla, but we're going into a Daimler battery from Deutsche Akkumoto, where it's being made by.
So it still qualifies for the full government rebate, the 8,500?
8,500 is the rebate, yeah. And there's only 3 provinces where you wear that. Only 3 provinces have the rebates. BC, Ontario, and Quebec are the only 3. We've just toured right across Canada. I was in Halifax last week, and I asked Haligonians and Nova Scotians out there, I said, do you guys know anything about your rebates? And there's no rebates there. So maybe some changes need to do in other areas. It works from some territories and areas. Like the big question as we travel across Saskatchewan, Manitoba is what's it going to be like at -40, you know?
Yeah.
But then again, what's any of these cars like at -40?
Well,
right?
I drove mine last winter. Mind you, we didn't have a real winter in Toronto, and, but it was fine. It was fine.
Not a problem. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so let's try and kickstart it.
So what we're going to do is turn the key to the on position, and that's all you need to do is rotate it anymore. So I'm going to bring the vision around here to the cluster, and you'll see that performance bar at the very bottom below the P, there's 8 squares, 8 LED squares. And what that means is that your performance, your electric system is nominal. Everything is perfect.
Okay.
If for some reason you were to lose a square or 2, it would be based either on temperature variances. Like for example, when we were in Regina, Saskatchewan last year, the ambient temperature, which is 19, was actually showing 43. And so when we activated the AC system here, it realized, well, I need to cool the batteries off first. So while we did that, it was the cooling of the AC system wasn't as grand. It wasn't as soon as it cooled off the batteries, then we got that last bar back up. We only lost the 1 bar.
Gotcha. So where is the battery gauge? Like how much?
Yeah, it's right up here. So on the left-hand side.
This one here?
Yeah. Sorry about
this is battery temperature, or is this?
No, that's great gauge. So it says state of charge. Okay, so on the left is state of charge.
So we're about just over 70%.
That's correct.
Charge. Yeah. Okay.
And then the one on the right is the flow indication gauge.
Okay.
So with the flow indication gauge, as you can see, there's in the center is 0. The right-hand side is negative, and the left-hand side is positive. So red is discharge.
You're charging. So when you're decelerating, it's going to be charging. When you're using accelerator, it goes to the right. Okay.
Exactly. So ideally, as electric drive vehicles, you know, you're being an optimist. You're an opportunist. You're looking for an opportunity to regen as much as you possibly can. So
is this the estimated range left?
No, that's the top. That's a clock. Hang on. No, sorry. That's the odometer. That's the odometer.
123 kilometers. Okay. And this is the total kilometers.
That's yes.
So there is no range estimator per se in this model.
No, but the new one will have it.
Will have it.
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
Perfect. Okay. So
according to Tim, who actually there was 12 of them and came into Canada a couple weeks ago for a Quebec Hydro program, and I'm sure they'll arrive here in Ontario for media release and that stuff. Alrighty. But there's 12 pre-production vehicles of the 2013s in Canada right now.
So there's a few of the Gen 3 ones already available?
Yeah, they just, well, not available. They're in Canada.
Just for test drive, perhaps. Some of the dealers may have them.
I don't know. Well, they say they're in Montreal last week, or sorry, they were in Montreal 3 days ago. So I don't know exactly what their location will be, but I'm sure some of them make their way to Ontario. But I talked to a guy in Halifax last week that he was a stevedore. Let's go left. I'll go down that back alleyway there. I'll just turn the camera around to show you where we're driving here. He was driving on down a back alley here, just off of Bathurst and from college, just to show how the Smart works in back alleyways. And we're going to go all the way down a little bit more, make a right-hand turn, and I'll tell you where that right-hand turn will be. Anyways, he was there when they came off the ship, and remembers being at a rush order to Montreal to get these there for a special show. It was put on by Quebec Hydro. So those vehicles could still be in Montreal. I'm not too sure what the location is. So where that number 11 is, that purple, we're going to make a right-hand turn in that little lane.
So right on this Gen 2, I guess it's not relevant because it won't be. But so on the Gen 3, what will be the estimated maximum range?
Yep, on the Gen 3, sorry?
Yeah.
On the Gen 3, they're saying well over 140 urban. 140 plus urban,
okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
This one here, because of the Tesla battery pack and the size, the range was approximately 130 plus, but a lot of that is based on geography. Where do you drive?
Exactly.
Like
how aggressively you drive. So.
Absolutely. Like when we go left. Yeah, it's a one-way street there. So when we were traveling across Canada last year in the Smart Tour, electric drive tour, when we hit Kelowna's got a large hill, and everybody wants to climb the hill. So did that affect the batteries? It certainly did. Like, because everybody wanted to climb the hill, but most people want to climb the hill with full throttle.
Yeah, Flores.
There's this urge to go full throttle. I'm gonna make it right. Yeah, I'll make it right. There's urge to go full throttle, which is, the only thing you have to do at the top of the hill is now hit the brakes, so you kind of just killed all of your energy.
So the actual motor is how many kilowatts?
I think it's 300 kilowatt. I'm just trying to remember my spec sheet. I'm trying to remember what the new one is.
Because then we can translate into horsepower.
Yeah,
so is it like a horsepower equivalent?
Yeah, it's 40 horsepower.
40 horsepower.
Yeah,
so that's the same as the iMEV, pretty much. Yeah.
And what we'll do, we'll continue straight on down through, and then in one more block, we're going to make a right-hand turn on Euclid. It's a one-way street to the right.
So you can hear the motor a little bit. Yeah,
just a little
nice
bit
electric whizzing sound. Yeah,
exactly.
Which is nice.
Roll it down. You can hear a bit more of that against the.
Okay, and then maybe you can just mention the different MSRPs for the Gen 3.
Okay, so on the Gen 3, and when it comes to market, it as a coupe, it will be just under 27,000, so 26,999, I guess. And here you want to turn right here. Oh, just watch these ladies here at the. There you go. There you go. And then when you go to the Cabriolet, then it's just a tad under 30, so 26,999 and 29,999. So.
Okay, so after rebate, it's going to be 21.5, pretty much.
Yep.
It's quite a nice sound. It sounds different than my iMEV.
When yours sounds similar to what is it, like a whine like this, or
just a different, slightly different sound. Okay. Also. So currently the motor is developed by Daimler, is it?
The motor is, all the electrics is Bosch in the new version. Yeah, it's all Bosch. I saw a cutaway car of it, the Toronto Car Show, and I haven't seen the new, like the purpose-built one. I had a Lear Charger in it, but I don't know if it's the same. But it's Bosch electrics and Daimler batteries is what it ends up being.
Yeah, it sounds quite nice.
Yeah, so the nice thing about it's German, it's in-house, This one here is more of a combination of a little British and a little bit of a little British, a little American. That's Zytec Electrics and that.
Okay, perfect. We're completing the circle here. So.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if you want to go a little further down and come back. It's totally up to you.
Oh, this is good. It gives me an idea of how this, and then I'm sure the Gen 3 is going to be even more exciting. So what I'll try to do is, I guess anyone should approach their Mercedes dealership to see if they happen to have a Gen 3 available for test drive.
The one I'd recommend would be probably Midtown.
The one on Eglinton and Leslie, as opposed to the one downtown.
Yeah, downtown. Well, head office is for Daimler-Benz is right behind on Vanderhoof. So the dealership that's at Midtown would be more closer to, I'd call, head office. If anybody, like, they have a 240 charging station in front of their store as well for the electric drive.
So they're all equipped there.
So so that dealership there, that location has got more of the more of the electric,
infrastructure.
more of the electric stuff going for it. So,
Okay.
and so does downtown as well. But I just know the head office is right behind it, so you might get a better response from.
And
closer
there's
to head
only a
office.
limited amount of these Gen 3 electric smarts available all over Canada, so
Yeah.
there's a better chance probably that.
Probably being head office. Like all these vehicles here, when they were plated, the yellow came out of the Midtown store. That's the
Okay.
store that was kind of
Alright.
considered home base for us. So
Great.
these ones were picked up in Richmond, in Vancouver, and we drove them out. So they were shipped west, and then we brought them east.
So in terms of the charging times and the type of chargers that it uses that J1772 standard
Yep.
for
Yep,
charging.
exactly. And I got that in the back. I can
So
show that to you.
out of the level 1, how long will it take to charge?
A lot of that's basically the temperature and how far down you go, but I would say an average charge would be somewhere between 10 and 12 hours.
And then on the level 2, half
And
that,
half of
obviously.
that, yeah, for sure. So looking at that gauge there, that state of charge gauge, so you can see that from 20 to 100 it's all black, and then below 20 is red. That if you go below 20, then you go into like a trickle charge, and it's trickle charge to 20. As soon as you go 20, you go to high rate, and that's between 20 and 80. Then at 80, it slows back down again.
Okay, so and then are you compatible with the CHAdeMO standard at 480 volts?
You know
the
what?
quick charger.
Yeah, you know what? There's talk about that. I don't know too much information on it. I've heard people talk about it. I don't want to say too much about it because I really don't know all the information. But I do know that I've heard discussion about quick charging. I don't know where we sit in that side of it, but I certainly know that the conversation is about quick charging. So,
Excellent.
but where I don't want to say because I don't have all the
Yeah,
information
okay.
on that. But
Okay, no problem. So to be
it's
determined.
been
to
yeah,
be devised.
TBA, I guess. Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Well,
Whatever.
listen, thank you very much.
Thank you very
It
much.
was a
I hope that was a
pleasure.
good test drive
Okay,
for you there,
thank
and I'll
you.
give you back your nice camera there.
There we go.
It's a heavy.
Okay.